um,
And,
yeah.
and then go back down there in SoCal then.
Today, Alex will meet a friend, Eric.
Okay.
All
Mhm.
right.
Where's Eric?
He's joining in right now.
Get ready, Alex.
Oh my god, long time no see you guys.
Wow, so long. Oh my gosh. Let me record this session. Okay.
Hi, hello.
What's up, Eric? How are you doing?
I'm doing a lot better. How about you guys?
Doing great. Midterm coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sucks. Yeah, it is what it is.
Shouldn't be too bad. It's just coding, so hopefully I'll pass.
Yeah.
Did I go to school in person? No, it was an online class. My coding class is hybrid, so one day's online, one day's in person.
Let the audio in. It's my voice.
Huh?
Huh?
I'm not host.
May give me co-host.
I'm not host, so Leslie is
give me
host.
co.
Give her some boba. She appreciates it. Okay.
The more the merrier.
Important characters. That's why.
How's your brother doing?
He's doing
A
a lot
lot
better
better.
now.
That's
He
good.
still needs the inhaler though, but at least he's able to go to school on his own without us having to worry. Aaron and Lily's banquet.
Yeah,
No excuse. It's Aaron. I
man,
have to go.
that banquet is fire. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
that banquet is fire,
Oh. hmm
man.
If I what I liked the most about it was seeing how every single one of the uplines and like the events is coming down to talk about their experience with them, the stories they shared with Aaron and Lily from like how they started to where they are now. Because I'm like, it's like what I remember when it comes to like my dad and mom. They like when I graduated high school, they showed up, even though I know my dad can't walk like very much because of his injury, but he still came, and when he and my mom talked to me, they were just like, everything they've done, all of, like, the times where they had to be strict with me or I had to learn the hard way that's what I'm doing is wrong or what I can do to be better, they told me that, and seeing, like, Phil and then Vu and then Bao Dao and everyone coming up to talk to it's just like it's a family, and that's what I really liked about this business is I'm not coming here just to find other people to make money. I'm here to find people that I can share and be open with, a family outside of my family.
Yeah. All right, man. Amazing. Okay, I think everybody is in here. We have enough relevant people in here already, right? Okay, good.
11.
We have Eric and we have Alex, right? Eric is from this team. Alex is from Leslie team. All right. So before we starting, before we starting, I just want to say that today we have a huge chance. Not every single person out of 500 people in Philly team, you guys two lucky one that have a chance to have the time with Philly. So my advice is to take this event, take this moment as make it as let's say maximize it as much as possible. By what? By it's not an interview. We're not here to judge you, but all you guys are here for is to learn. So the best way to learn is to open up your mind, to open up your mind to every possible knowledge and lesson that you guys see. So there's two tip: open mindedness and transparency. So anything that might bug your mind or you guys have inside, just feel free to be transparent. This is a no filter place where you guys can ask frank, open questions that anything that been bugging your mind, confuse your mind, will be have a chance for you guys to get answered, right? So don't it's not something that a lot of candidate in the process have a chance to have this. So I think it's the best to get most of our questions out there, or even tips and advice from our mentor, right? So that we can, after today, you guys can, you go out and you feel proud of yourself that I had did my best. I had asked all my questions. I had equipped myself with enough knowledge to bring my business or even my life to the next level, right? So that you guys feel so proud of yourself that you guys have all this amazing knowledge in your notes, or whatever voice record, you know? Yeah, personally, right?
Yeah, first time.
So don't be too nervous or intense. He's not here to judge you, but he's here to teach you. He already willing to spend time here to teach you guys already. So have fun, relaxing atmospheres, and just ready your mind to learn. There's no wrong question. That's the thing. Let's go back to K-12. There's no wrong questions. Just ask. Yeah.
Smaller
Oh, Bill is here. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Hello.
Handsome.
Đẹp trai.
Trời ơi, legendary.
Because there's no
The only beautiful. Wow. Leslie feels so privileged to be minority. And we cannot hear you clearly yet. Can the tech team help Phil?
Lắc. I think we get cut off. Yeah.
you hear me?
A
Still
little bit
kind of,
better. Can
Yeah,
you
it's kind of
say
buggy.
something?
a little bit better.
Can you say something longer? My test mic.
1, 2,
We
Yeah,
stop
cut off.
hearing at two.
Cut off.
No, not lost. Yeah, SoCal Wi-Fi is a bit late.
my audio. 1, 2, 6.
Still lagging hả anh? Yeah.
It's the audio issue. What Zoom is it?
3,000.
3,000 anh.
3,000.
Work. Come on, tech team. Ooh.
Oh,
Is that better? Okay, he's logged back in. Wi-Fi is a bit.
he's joining back in.
Yeah, he's joining his
I see
voice.
the second
Oh.
device.
Wi-Fi. Man, Alex was so nervous. Alex just like shaking. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to learn some knowledge. And then he's scared. Why, bro? He's not taking anything from you. You're receiving. He should be scared. You might ask too much.
Just like me. Oh man, just like me back then.
So they feel like CEO, and you guys all coming to actually calling the money for investment. So who will be
Fundraising.
the most attractive one?
Attractive one.
Attractive.
Attractive, yeah.
Eric, you have questions and
Mhm.
stuff prepared? Oh,
I have a few that like I thought about, and then I got some examples for them, so at least there's more content that I can like share that would
Nice.
hopefully help understand me.
nice. Alright.
All right.
How's everything going?
All right, guys. Tech team spotlight. And Phil.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, we have 6 people.
Okay.
Okay, let's Phil connect the audio. Yep, hold on.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
We can
Yes.
hear you perfectly, Phil. Okay, say
Deep
something.
and warm.
You
Thank
muted
you.
again. You muted again.
No, he's using the second device,
Okay.
right?
It's not in the Zoom.
Okay. One
I like
device. Hello.
Okay, somebody merge. I think it's merging. Let's go. Hold on, say something.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, finally.
Okay. Okay. Woo! Yeah.
Finally.
Yes, Eric,
Yeah.
let's go.
So we are here today. We have Phil here. Finally, fix the tech fix his voice, so we can get started. Let's introduce ourselves a little bit. Okay. So in here we have 2 new candidates.
We have time till 7:30. So I know you guys a little bit. So you guys have questions I can help answer since it's 2 people. So I mean, if it's gonna be a little while to introduce.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys have questions, I know you guys are make the progress and book the FED ticket. So that's bravo. That's great. Kudos to you guys. But I'm sure you guys haven't really met certain requirement to get started to launch. So my job is to help you declare that, right? So if any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm sure the 2 of you guys have a couple similar problems. I think so. I'm just guessing, based upon some psychic kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see if I'm right on that. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I can help answer.
Okay, let's go, guy.
With Newland. Newland is in the background. Okay. Newland is in the background. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One of the questions I wanted to ask is how do I keep my mind and my emotions like together so they consistently act them out? Because like when I was offered around to like try different food once, my emotions is I'm happy, thank you for like taking me around, making me feel comfortable. But my mind is thinking, do I need to appreciate like everything? Do I need to say I like everything? Do I have to not be honest to make them feel like they are doing the right thing to make me try all this stuff? Because I remember when they gave me balut, I got really scared because it's a little chick inside, and I didn't want to eat it. But my emotions, I'm upset. I don't want to eat this baby bird. But when my mind is thinking is eat it and say like thank you for letting me try out this food because it's the nice thing to do.
Oh my God, that's like the best food ever. I mean,
no,
I feel
I don't
bad
like
for
it.
those of you who haven't ate it.
I ate it. I
I'm
don't
sure
like
Alex has never tried that.
Yeah, I've never tried it.
Yeah. That's
I can
considered
bring
a
you to
crime.
try it. Okay.
How about
Yes.
Eric? Go ahead.
Eric, I just asked about Alex.
Hello, Alex.
Yeah, Alex, do you have any similar questions on that or a different?
So my question is a bit different. I'm curious, like, what's the mindset that like helped you to be disciplined and consistent so that you can achieve the success you have today? And how can I develop that sort of mindset?
I see.
What
I
stopped
can.
you from being consistent though? What stopped you from being consistent? Like,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of things that stop people from being consistent. Maybe, for example, I signed up for the gym membership and I decided to not go very often because
Yeah.
I don't even want that muscle so bad.
Mhm.
Or for some cases, the people will like the muscle, but then, their family, their house is so far away from the gym,
Mhm.
and they can't keep up the driving over there every day, or it could be something to do with like they have a girlfriend, they get distracted. So there's a lot of reason why you can't be consistent.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Can
for
I add
example,
some context?
Eric would not be consistent because there's a lot of emotion things, things that people say to him, things people act to him that kind of irritate him, and he kind of stops somewhere along, in the middle of the game. There's a lot of reasons. Yeah. Leslie, go ahead.
Can I add some context? Cause like last
Mhm.
time Alex actually tell with me, so he has been trying with the grade in school, but like when he's trying so hard and he cannot get the grade he want, so actually it make him like really worry about it, and he take a lot of time to actually fixing the midterm grade. But like when I actually sit down and actually analyze everything with him, so actually the grade actually not really matter with his end goal. And sometimes like I'm not sure, but like his family also have some problem, but I'm not sure it actually affect in his like consistency a lot. Yeah. Alex, you want to
Yeah.
clarify more?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so like Leslie was saying, I feel like right now the biggest reason why I fail to be consistent is because I'm so distracted with school. Like I think for me right now, school's been very difficult in the sense that there's a lot for me to do and a lot for me to study. And by the time I'm done doing all those things at the end of the day, I kind of want to lean into doing something more comfortable. And I feel like that's when my consistency kind of just breaks and fails because that's like the time when I could be devoting my time to the mentorship doing audio materials. But that's when I kind of want to just relax, do something that I want, whether it be watching YouTube, playing games, or just hanging out with my friends. And yeah, I feel like that, in addition with just the fact that I guess time management has been a big problem too. Just all the classes and making time to study as well as homework because the schedule I'm working in right now, it's pretty packed mostly throughout the day because I also have work as well outside of school. And that's what I focus during the weekends. And
Yeah.
that
Time management, and
Yeah.
sometimes he didn't know what to prioritize because like he have extra two class for church, and also he have some club too. So sometimes like I don't know how to show him how to prioritize and how to connect from what he doing right now with his end goal.
Mhm. Yeah. Let me share my whiteboard.
Yeah.
okay.
I give you co-host.
So the way that I think that it works for me, and I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but this is how it works for me. Um, the way we think, it's very different. Me and both of you guys. So let's say this is me where I am, right? And this is where I am heading to, right? So if I do, this is my end goal, and this is where I am. So if there's a group of friends right here, and there's a group of friends right here, I want to join this group, not the other group, because it's getting me closer to my goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I have this kind of goal or task or commitment here, and then I also have the commitment here, then I will prioritize this group because it's on my way to my goal. So that's my way of thinking. Now, here's your way of thinking. This thing, it's very blurry, which is your end goal. You don't have that particular goal. What do you have? It's you are not attracted to that end goal. You're attracted to something here, because this is where you get the most approval. This is where you get the most praise. This is where you get the most applauses. And when you I'll give you an example, okay?
Okay.
In my end goal, it's an A in physics. can I tell if I hang out with this friend or this friend or this friend, which friend is gonna take me to an A in physics faster? It's very easy for me to tell because I have an end goal. If this guy is good with physics, this guy is good with geometry, this guy is only good with chemistry, then I want to hang out with this guy. He's gonna take me closer to my goal. Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
But what if I don't even want to get an A in anything? So then the three of friends are equally mattering. They're the same. So when you don't have an end goal, it's very hard for you guys to prioritize what to do. And then you're gonna end up major on the minors and you minor on the majors. What does that mean by that? It's you're making something not a big deal, a very big deal. Okay, so let's say when Eric doesn't have a goal right here, or Alex doesn't have a goal, something that this group of friends saying to him, it's gonna irritate him. Without him knowing that, the next 10 years, he's not gonna see them again. What's the point of, sweating the little things like that? Right?
Mhm.
So the problem with the way that you guys think is you don't have a particular clear end goal, what you're looking for. And so you're making everything around you a big deal. Something people say on the TV, something people say on the internet, something your fake friends telling you. That's what lacking of end goal is going to destroy every single task, every single commitment you guys are doing. Now, well, then what are you guys are motivated by, if not this end goal? Well, it's by something called validation. If you're doing this, even though it doesn't get you to where you want in the next 5 to 10 years, but this is where your family braves. This is where you're going to get a scholarship in school. This is where most of your friends are going to talk highly about. And this is when you're going to get honor and privilege. So that's why when Leslie talked about the class that you're taking right now, it has nothing to do with your end goal. You're still going to really making a very big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so
Yes.
those are the two different groups of mindset. One is outcome focused and one is process focused. Process focused people, they don't care whether what they do or what they like or what they say or who they hang out has anything to do with the future. It's all about today. It's all about now. It's all about in the moment. That's process focused. Those are the people that always say, I like things. It's not about whether it's right. It's about whether it is liked. And then the outcome focused person, they want this end goal. And so if this going this way won't get them there, they don't mind to go a different way. Even though they want to go from San Jose to San Diego, they want San Diego so bad. So even if they can't travel by car, they can still travel by bicycle. They can still travel by airplane because they are more excited about the final destination than the vehicle.
Chị đang record mày được ơi.
But I feel like for the two of you, you would not care so much about San Diego, but you will have to travel the kind of car that you like. It gives you that accommodation, that convenience, the car color. So you're going to get really, really distracted and sidetracked by the little tiny things that matter very little to your next 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So the only cure for process focus is the outcome. The only cure for the emotion, anybody who is process focused, they are more emotional than logical, which is they pay attention to the color of the car, who they hang out, are those friends fun to hang around, and they like that. Or maybe the way that they pick a girlfriend, it's not really about, can I get married to her? Can we develop that long-term relationship? But it's more of, does she look cute? Is she making me laugh most of the time? But it's not, okay, is she going to cheat on me later? Can she be a mom of my kids? So The only way I want to answer both of your questions, the only way that you can handle this emotion is you really have to learn a little bit how to get yourself a little bit more logical. The only way that you will not get sucked into, or get caught up into, or get drawn into, or soaked into these little problems is you have to be able to predict what's going to come after this. See, if I'm going to get this, what comes after this? The ability to predict future, to predict the consequence, right? So I'll give you an example. Alex is going to make a big deal out of a class he's taking right now, but he doesn't try to ask what is next after the class. What's next? If he get an A, okay, so what does that give him? Okay, a degree, awesome. What does that degree give him? A job. What does that job give him? 40 hours a week. What does that 40 hours a week give him? Going back home tired, exhausted, drained, and start to get irritated, doesn't have time to listen to the kids, the wifey, and then getting into a fight and divorce. That was not something that he trying to think beyond, think forward. He can only get stuck at where he is right now. Okay, I'll give you Eric example, the balut. Okay, so if he's focusing on whether he likes it or not, but he's not focusing on the relationship between him and that person afterwards, or would that be healthy for him if he's eating that? It's more of the feeling and the look and the appearance, the things on the surface, but it's not what comes afterwards. So what is going to help you, the two of you, is the one that work with you, keep talking to you about, okay, so what's next? What's coming after this? Help you to predict the consequence, help you to predict the scenario. What would that look like afterwards? And because that's the only way we can tell whether these things matter or not. It's not by looking at how dramatic it is, but you have to looking at the result of it. It's not about the bicycle looks cool. It's about, can I make it to San Diego if I keep driving this bicycle? It's not whether I like this car enough, but can the car is safe enough for you to get you to San Diego? It's about San Diego. It's not about the car. It's not about the bicycle. And so when you're not very like, what do you call that? So maniac, or you are not like crazy about the end goal, you are gonna really get caught up into so many things in front of you. See, I don't have that many real cases when working with these two individuals.
Have some examples for Eric. So for Eric, I have seen one trait from him is that he's just looking to solve things that, from my perspective, that cannot be solved. For example, he has an older brother, and that older brother, he has some problem with the way he behaves. He was born, but whenever that brother makes Eric feel frustrated, he still feels just frustrated about why my brother is not act normally, but that guy cannot act normally because he was born like that. But Eric, I feel like Eric will spend a lot of time worried about a brother. But from my perspective, why not like just let him be like that and be better? That you can help your family get out of that. You just spend a lot of time worrying about things like that. Yeah.
Right, because he can't predict what happens next. It's after he's getting irritated, the guy is still going to act the same way 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. That's not how you solve the problem to the root of it. The only way you can solve the problem to the root of it is you don't have to share the same house with them. You get your own house. You make so much money. Yeah. Are you with me on that? And so what I'm trying to say is people fail to predict what comes after it. They're only in the moment. They don't ask the question, what is next? There's a material I recommended you guys called Emotion versus Logic that I recorded. And that's definitely going to help you guys. And now this is connected to time management as well. So that's Alex's questions, right? Time management and priority. See, the reason why I have a lot more time because I know which person to hang out, what tasks to do, what tasks I should not commit to. But for him, it's very hard for him to eliminate unnecessary options because he can't tell what matters to his future and what doesn't. If you guys listen to my time management and priorities CD, I talk a lot about the choice comes before the effort. You know, but I feel like Alex is gonna get caught up into whatever in front of him. Like he's go to school and he saw everybody got a scholarship or got a praise when he didn't get an A. I'm down to get an A. That is my mission statement right now. But he doesn't ask what comes after an A. So I have this guy in my team. He said, I'm gonna get a scholarship. Why? Because it gives me $3,000. I said, okay, so how long would you need to take time to get that scholarship? He said 3 months. Then I asked, what if I show you how to make $3,000 in 3 weeks by driving Uber? He said, I know I can do that, but it doesn't look cool. I want a scholarship. It looks more cool. But I say, you know what? If you can cut down 2 months and 1 week from that scholarship and you put in your business and you can go platinum and you can make $5,000 and that $5,000 you don't have to go to work the rest of your life, would that also be cool too? Oh, I didn't think of that. All I know is I need to get that scholarship so the girls that I have a crush on will like me. That's all they care about. It looks cool. You know, so at the end of the day, I turn this whiteboard thing. Okay. So at the end of the day, you guys need to really have some goal that you guys are tied to. And every single thing you're doing, you have to ask yourself, will this thing take you to your goal? If not, that's most of the time it's Gen Z, the young people problems. Now, if I don't teach you guys this tonight, those problems automatically will disappear as you grow older. Why? At some point, when Alex and Eric hit 30 years old, now they got 2 kids, they got a wife, and they got a mortgage to pay, they got a car insurance to pay. They won't follow their emotion. They won't do what they like anymore. Because if every single time they take an hour to satisfy their feeling, something else is going to get slacked off. They say yes to something, they will say no to something else. And that's when their family is in trouble. That's when their wife is paying the price. That is when their family is shorting of money. There's lack of money. You can't afford the bill. But right now, if you guys are following your emotion, no one gets hurt. Do you see that? So that emotion is gone as people growing older. They no longer feed or satisfy their feeling anymore. So it's part of the Gen Z kind of thing. The only difference is maybe people picking it up at the age of 25, 26 by 60%. Then you guys can pick it up at the age of 20 or 21. It's a little faster, but it's working in progress. There's no way you can get rid of it. Because when I was your age, I was all over the place, man. I eat fried chicken. I wake up very late. You know, I hate vegetable. I do all the bad stuff. If people say, hey, don't eat sweet and it's diabetes, I will do all of that. You know, I'm not going to do what makes sense. I'm not going to do what's great. It's helpful to my future. I'm just going to do what I like. So what can cue that like thing is the right thing. It's called responsibility. You guys haven't developed that responsibility for you, for your family, for your goal. If today I choose to hang around to date a wrong woman, do you know what would have happened to my 500 people organization? I'm going to take that woman on the stage and she's like a mess. Do you know what would that cue hundreds of couples in my team? That's going to cue their future. One wrong decision is going to cost me the whole future. If I decide today that I'm gonna really down payment for a what do you call that? A yacht or a private jet, I could afford it. But what does that mean? I'll end up losing my freedom. I can show up, I can flex, I can put it on the internet, but when I go home, I ain't got time for you guys.
Yeah.
And bunch of
I
people in
think
my
like
team are gonna flow away.
I think the difference
Huh?
between you and Alex and Eric is that you have a lot of responsibility. But like for Alex, I think like his mom also like help him with the like control his budget, and with Eric he didn't have job before. So how can we push them to actually have more responsibility in life,
Yeah.
and also like can have more life skill? Because I feel like two of them actually lack a lot of like life skill in life, and also like don't know how to actually prioritize.
I'll say like at the same time, it's both from both Alex and Eric is I see there's a quite a bit lack of live reference, so it's hard for them to figure out what's actually really matters when they grow up. Like what exactly is Eric in the 30s, Alex in the 40s actually needs, and they feel that they really need it. It just still everything is still very theorized and or just stories told by other people are on stage, you know.
They didn't compare themselves with other people, so that's why.
So now even we're giving them all those success stories, or they're attending many stories. That wouldn't do a single thing for them, because they weren't looking at those kind of lives and say, "Well, that will be my life later," you know. And so I think responsibility is the key. Because now look, there are things I also hate, but what was that statement that I made a long time ago? It's more painful to avoid the pain than, I forgot the statement I made
It's
a little
more
while
painful
ago.
to run away from the pain than solve the pain.
Something like that down the line. It's the opposite for the two of them, because when they avoid the pain, there's no problem. So now we have to put them. So for example, before I became an adult, right, I used to work at the restaurant. If they ever yell at me, I would quit. Nothing would hurt me. But today, if I fight back to satisfy my feeling, I yell at them back. I'll end up losing my job, for example, right? So my mom will get hurt now. My dad will get hurt now. The bill I can't even afford. The rent I can't even keep up with. So that kind of refrained me from making an emotional, impulsive decision, right? So you guys need something like that to refrain you guys from doing what you like, because that's pretty much 80% of the adults out there. We can't do what we like anymore. That's why Peter Pan doesn't want to grow up. He likes to live his life as a young little kid in Neverland. Why? Because who doesn't want to get in there? Everyone wants to be a child, but you have to understand, whenever you do what you like, your parents and someone that you love have to do what they dislike for your life. Like they pretend that they're healthy to go to work, and you pretend that you're sick to not go to school. They pretend that they're healthy, even though they hate their work. Now, if your parents get yelled by your boss, what would they say? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why? Do they love their job? No. They love Alex and Eric. They have to do what it is like. True. So you guys have to get out of that finish line, because seems like you already get what you want. Because right now Alex can do what he likes, Eric too, and they don't have to worry about finance. They don't have to worry about anything. So they're gonna get caught up into the little five little problem, little things here and there, you know. So a lot of people in my team, I have to move them from the finish line back to the starting line. Some of them I move halfway, some of them I move all the way. What does that mean? Some of them move out, claim responsibility, pay their own bill. Some of them only willing to pay 30% of their expense. Get a house, get the rent, get the room, paying their own insurance, one step at a time. First level, just the car insurance. Second level, the gas. Third level, phone bill. Fourth level, the rent. Slowly, the night level, giving your parents a few $100s every month. Try to do that. You with me on that? So, because if you guys are sitting there right now, there's no reason why you would want to build this opportunity, because you already have financial freedom. Okay, here's a life of financially free person, okay? They wake up, they don't have a job, they sleep in. Can you? Yeah. Right? Now, a life of financially free person is they don't have to worry about taking care of their family, because they got a really good income taking care of their family. Do you guys have to do that? No. Right? So a life of a person that are financially free, it's They're living life with a peace of mind. They don't have to worry so much about, can they have a boss, they'll get laid off. Would you guys have to be worried about it? No. So you already had the finish line. So what does that mean? Phil, go looking for young professional, 25, 30 years old. So, I mean, do you try to say that the young people like us cannot do this? No, there are few individuals that they understand this issue, the certain problem, and they're willing to kind of move themselves back to the starting line. You know, for me, my starting point, I work full time. I went to school full time. I paid my tuition $10,000 in community college. I went to UC Berkeley one semester. I used to pay $45,000. When I went to San Jose State, I paid $25,000 per year. On top of that, there's a rent, there's a car insurance, there's a gas, there's a phone bill, there's food. And so I ended up paying all of that. I lived the life of 30s, 40s, people in their 50s. So I got scared that 5 to 10 years from now, no matter how hard I work, I will end up living the same life again. I don't mind to work hard. What I might is I'm working hard to get the same lifestyle. Does it make sense? And so I started that when I was your age. So I treasure freedom so much because I never had it. I never had it. If you have it, you can't fight for it. So I'm not saying that now you move 100% completely away from your family. But what I'm just saying is, ask them if you can actually taking over a few of them. So then the next time when you see me, you're not asking me about time management, emotion, how to deal with all of these situations broader. You start asking me about how can I fight for going platinum? How can I get Emerald Ship done? How can I get that income? How can I taking care of my parents? And we stop having time for this little unnecessary problems. Right? Now, if you know, Alex and Eric tomorrow, you guys have a candidate, 35 years old. What do you guys think that guy's going to sit down with you, going to ask you what question? Hey, you know, I fought with my friend, the Balut, and, you know, I have this class, and I don't know if I should hang out with this person. I'm feeling emotional. No, they ain't got time for that. They got 2 kids. They got a bill to pay. If they one day they live their life stupidly, then no one's going to take care of their bill.
I think Eric will understand because like, he has a candidate. But this girl, she's just on and off, and she's very emotional too.
Yeah.
So imagine that if she launched in your business and she keeps asking some like, how can I deal with my emotion? How can I balance my emotion? But because I think that's supposed to something you need to figure out by yourself. So with or without you meeting us. And then for Eric, like actually very surprised to know that like he just at his last year in college, that his plan after graduating still not really clear. And then where he want to work, which job be better, any option to work, something like that still pretty clear for him. Even the car, they're not yet figured out.
See, the way that he thinks, like I said, was the opposite. See, I start from the end goal and I backtrack it, right? For him, it's like this. Okay, so what's in front of me? Freshman year, okay, I need to get an A in this class. All right, there's another party here. I need to attend this. And then I go to see, I need to pass second year. And then there's an internship in the third year. And then I need to graduate. And so it's a bunch of things right in front of him that was kind of very tempting. Then he need to get it. And he go from A, B, C, D, E, F. He go all the way. Okay, now I graduate. Okay, so what's next? Get a degree, get a job. Okay, I don't even like this job. But why didn't he think about that, when he first entered college? But he had to wait till he graduated to start thinking about it. Well, because he's attracted by whatever in front of him. If you don't have a vision, you're going to end up being employed by people. It's like, and that's how you trap the animals, You don't trap them by, like they stay here and you leave a trap here. You don't do that. You put a little trap here, put a little trap here, put a little trap here, and they keep eating the food, the bait, keep eating the food, and they fall for the trap. Do you know how they keep you for 40 years in your job? They don't give you the big bait. They give you a little small bait. It's called promotion. It's called happy hour. It's called I'll give you your own office. It's called benefits. It's called 401k. It's called, okay, I'll give you 2 vacations. I'll give you a package of insurance. And by the time you get the last date, the last bite, you're 65 years old. And then that's how they keep you get stuck in that. How would a rat get stuck in the race treadmill? Because they're not focusing on the big picture. They don't zoom out. They're not looking at things from afar. They just keep trying to be balanced. Run. And then that's how they're stuck in for the rest of their life. So guys, don't look at whatever in front of you. Zoom out. Zoom out a little bit. You know? So like, for example, you know, like, this is how they make games, you know? If you get to level 1, man, you're gonna get transformed. You know, you have a different weapon, different armor, look cool. And if you lock in the next day, you get some rewards. So then you upgrade to level 2, level 3, level 4. And that's how people get stuck into games, and they were level 5, and then level 6, and then level 7. Bam! 10 years of my life playing this game. What is the victory of this game? There's no victory. That's how you gotta get caught up into it. Same thing with the movies, right? With series 1, series 2, and they have episode 1, episode 2, and by the time you go to episode 50, you realize this movie is BS. Wasted your time. So instead of doing that, zoom out. Don't look closer. Zoom out, and then you can see that, is this movie worth watching? This is where you are. Do you want to really get to the end? What am I getting out of this movie? Nothing. Then don't watch it. So I want you guys to be a little bit more on top of what would your life look like in your 30s, 40s. I don't want you to live week by week, month by month, year by year. Because Eric is going to be surprised the day he gets graduated from. He graduated from school, and it's, okay, so this is something that I've been fighting for the past 4 years. That's it? This degree? What about, you know, I used to cry my eyes out because I didn't get an A in biology. Okay, so what does that have anything to do with today? I'm 24, 23 right now. I can't even find myself a job. How was those clubs on campus and those projects and something scholarships? What does that help now? I can't even keep my wife. I'm fighting with her all day long. I'm working at a full-time job. I'm going back. I'm tired. I'm fighting with her. I'm not even a full-time husband. What does that do anything for me at the moment? Try to connect the daily thing and the weekly thing and the monthly basis kind of thing with your 30s and your 40s, making that quantum jump into your 30s and 40s. Talk to your Eric in your 30s. Do you like your life? I used to have a group physics project with my friend. I helped him. 3 months later, he dropped out from school. I've never met him again. I lost 3 months of my life. What does that have anything to do with it? Today, I'm sitting here, my success, everything I have in the world. I make $250,000 a year, things that people don't even have in the 60s. And I try to trace back to my middle school, high school. And there was a time I cried and I disappointed about myself. I worked so hard for that grade, and that had nothing to do with my success today. But that's the trap from society. They make why do we have 8 hours a day at work? Because that's long enough to keep you busy, to not think about escaping. That's why we keep the rat keep running, because they don't even have time to think about anything. Do you know why they keep you 40 hours a week at work? That's busy enough to keep you busy, to think about the work. Why would they make you work 5 days at work, but not 6 or 7 days? If you work 6 days, if you work 7 days, you don't have time to rest. You're exhausted by the time you can pass 40 years old. You work 6 days, you still have time to rest, but doesn't have time to spend the money. So you're rich, you retire early. They give you 5 days for what? So you can rest, you can spend your money, you can work to 65. See, if you're not thinking all the way to 65, you're going to fall into that trap. Okay, 24, 25 promotion, 26 years old promotion. Bam! Now you're 65. It's crazy. Do you know sugar cane? There's a machine that squeezes it. Yeah, 1 round, all your juice out. Now you're 30s. Another round, 40s. Another round, 50s. That's what corporate do for you. Do you know how they boil a frog? They don't put a frog in a boiled water. It's gonna jump out. They put a frog in the regular room temperature, and then they slowly turn up the heat. So they didn't say that, okay, I will lay you off. I'll outsource somebody overseas, or there will be COVID and you have to work overtime. They don't say that at the beginning of the interview. They say, this is going to be a greatest job in the world. You have your own office, your own cubicle, you have your own suit. We're taking care of car rental. We're taking care of this portfolio and stock market option and all of that. That's what they tell you. What happens when COVID happened? That's when the heat turns up a little bit. Now, the frog's been comfortable with the water. It's been 10 years I've been working with this company, 20 years working with this company. I don't want to jump out. I'm comfortable. And that's when the water becomes boiled and you're dead. So the best way to keep people for life is to throw the little bait. Remember that. If you work on Google Campus, you know what there is? Oh, you have your own cafeteria. You got your card, you go to the canteen, cafeteria, you swipe, all you can eat. Oh, you got your room, you got basketball court, you got the yellow bicycle, you got all of that. You stay on campus. And that is how you treat that as if it's your home. And if it's your home, you work till 65. Now, most people would not know anything about it. Do you know why? Because they look at everybody around them. They're doing the same thing. Only the guy outside the campus, Google Campus, can see it. That's what it means by zooming out. And sometimes you guys have to slow down to zoom out to see where are you heading in your life, because you guys are get sucked into something, or get hooked into something. And when you get hooked into it, you don't know that you get hooked into it. So I teach you one skill set to allow you to get out, to zoom out, to not get sucked into things. It's called the ability to track. Every day, every week, every month, you have to look back in your last 1 month, 1 year, 4 years, and ask, were all your actions connected to your goal? Did that take you closer to it? Did you really progress? What about the prom that you guys went to? What about the stuff that you bought last year? What about the classes you took last year? What about the friends you guys hung out? Did that take you closer? Because if you don't track, you're going to fall into the trap. Yeah, so I tracked. Do you guys remember the example I gave you earlier about the physics project? I tracked.
Mhm.
It didn't even connect with what I have today. What about the friends I used to hang out? They didn't even hang out with me anymore. I tracked. Yeah, see that? You have to track, guys. Because if you don't track, you would never know things that you're doing right now are just nonsense. You need to get out of it. Or the concern that you guys have to yesterday, the things you guys cry about, things you guys complain about, people that see, for example, if we can just sit here and point out for Eric that he has been talking about his brother or cousin, whatever, for the past decades. Now, the fact that you're talking about that, would the guy become any better? No. Can the problem be fixed? No. But he doesn't know because he didn't look back. He didn't track. So what I did is, if Eric is concerned about point A, my job is I have to take him back to the past 10 years. And I can use this past to predict the pattern of the next 10 years. The past 10 years, it didn't work out for that guy. What would you make you to next 10 year? Things are going to get better. Because Eric is only focusing on whatever is happening in the moment. You follow me so far? We're lacking of the ability to look back, that calmness, the collectiveness, to just look back and reflect and track and trace back. Every thought process is traceable. It started somewhere. How we think, how we act, how we behave, it started from somewhere. You want to fix the fruit, you got to trace the root. Let's just say, why there's Alex, let's say, why is Eric very often negative? Very often negative. Why? Because maybe there's an experience in the past there's a pattern that his parents are always telling him all the negative, you gotta really track it down. For example, I know I'm a hot temper person, for example. Why? Because when I was young, I saw that pattern from my mom. So not until you can be able to identify the root, you can't remove it.
Right. Sometimes
That's what
Alex,
tracking do to you.
yeah, sometimes Alex, like you spend the time to actually go for the birthday with your friend, right? Or like you
Mhm.
go to the church, or like sometimes you spending time with some of your friend in the club. You should like sit back and actually reflect, like did what you do right now actually connect with your goal? Otherwise, you actually didn't learn anything and you're just moving forward.
Yeah,
And then 2 weeks after that, he will start complaining. What's wrong with my time management? Like, I'm okay with you being aware that, but I'm not okay with you not being aware that you lost your time at that event. Like, I know a lot of people that a few weeks later, they realized that they wasted their time, but they didn't complain because they knew that was their choice. I don't want you to be surprised. Where did my time go?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want you to be surprised, because when you went to that event, just like most kids, we like the fun, yes. But if we don't know where the problems come from, we're going to end up blaming the business. Oh, it was the business that took away all my time from my school. Excuse me? You didn't even go to the last couple of meetings. You were there at the event. Did you remember that? See, that's what tracking could do for you. Because tracking is the best technique for troubleshooting. We know exactly where the problem was located at.
Mm.
Make sense? Or else we're going to end up planning the wrong thing. And so now, if you coming back to time management, that's exactly how I manage my time. Just like, let's say your car has a tire and it was flat because there's a nail penetrating through that hole. How can we identify the hole? We have to deep that tire under the water, submerge it into the water. And so where you see the bubble, that's where the hole is. And you have to plug in that leak. That's your time budget. It's leaking somewhere. We didn't even know where was it leaking. That's why we have to track. Last week, people ask me, how do I track? Just sit down, take a piece of paper, and track out the entire day. Phil, my day was packed. Excuse me, from 7:30 to 8, you writing down, you brush your teeth. Why did it take 30 minutes to brush your teeth? Oh, because I was listening to music. Okay, so what about from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.? You're saying you're going in class, but how come the class was only about an hour? What happened to the other hour? Oh, okay, I was networking around. I was just mingling around. I totally forgot that I have homework at home. Okay, so what about from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.? What did you do? I mean, you didn't even have anything on the schedule. Yeah, I eat. What did it take so long to eat? Yeah, I was eating and playing around my phone at the same time. Okay, so at least we know where it's blocked. See, so I want time to be wasted because that was your choice. It's at your discretion. It's not because of you didn't even know where did it go. Yeah. So you got to be able to explain why things happen the way it is. I don't want you to be surprised. Does it make sense? So that's tracking. So self-awareness video, that will be something I recommend. Emotion and logic. You will get to a point, you'll be literally able to connect everything you do on a daily basis with your dream, with your goal, with your everything. And you won't be disappointed. You won't be mad or upset about where your time went. Yeah. So for self-awareness, what are some top tips to be good at it? It's you have to be able to expose your life, because sometimes we can't see things that we are doing on a daily basis. We're stuck at tracking. So then we have to allow other people around you to see your life as an open book, like a open class, like the sun can actually going through. That's what it means by transparency. Sometimes people ask me where all my time. I say, excuse me, the whole day you didn't post anything on the chat. I don't have a camera in your room. How do I know? So that's tracking. So you got to really make your life exposed. So the people that living in the local area, they have that advantage, because when they share the room, the house with us, we know what they do in the morning. We know what they do at night. We can show them where the time went. So that's number one. Number two, it's you have to be willing to ask more than enough questions. What do I mean by that? Don't ask enough. Phil, what do you think about my performance lately? Phil, Tobias, is there anything I need to fix? Hey, Leslie, do you feel like I've been productive? Be open to that feedback, for that open communication, that they can tell you anything they can see from you. Because sometimes we can't see it in ourselves, but we stop people from telling us what's wrong with us because we've never be so comfortable, making people comfortable to tell us the truth. They have seen certain pattern that Alex and Eric respond in a very negative way after feedback. Like oh my God, these guys are moaning, groaning, soaking, and they don't like it, so they stop saying it. So allow people to just say everything, right? Number 3 is double, triple, quadruple your action wherever people talk. Jump in and talk. Make mistakes. Experience more. Go out, do more things. The more you do, the more mistake you're gonna make. That's when your problem exposed. That's where you can track yourself easily. But if you stay right now at home with your parents, none of your problem will be exposed. We can't tell. The guy that makes the most mistake is more miserable. It's more embarrassed. But he's smarter over time. Compared to the guy that's sitting at home is always flawless. But he doesn't learn anything at all.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, Eric always, the way Eric always show us like, okay, today I do this task, that task, this task, and that's all. I feel like whenever he do anything, it's just for the sake of pleases or sake of done it. Then he do his own thing. Then he still, and then I feel like he spent a lot of time for himself, his hobbies. And then a business is just a homework for him. Okay, if I'm done, I'm done. Never asking for more, and I never see. If I do good, or if I make any mistake, how can I improve to be better? It's very barely I see this from him. And if I see it, it's someone forced him to do that. Yeah. So I think I just question, is that connect to the thing is he cannot zoom out to see what will his life be if he keep continue to do those things.
Right. So for example, if you have a candidate right now, would that expose your weakness somehow? For sure. Oh my gosh, she reacted exactly the same way I did. Or next week Alex volunteered to speak for one of the meetings. Oh my gosh, my presentation sucks. Or or for example, you claim for some task, you claim for some responsibility. Oh my gosh, my capacity, my stamina, my mental capacity is weak. I can't even keep up with a job, with school, with business at the same time. So just the moment when you claim for more, you make more mistake, that's when your problem get exposed, and you can fix yourself. You know yourself much better. So I want to give you a proper expectation that things like this are not going to be learned in just one meeting. For Tobias, for Leslie, for Nolan, these guys, they have had many, many millions of meetings like this, where we tell them who they are, and then comes the emotion. I'm so emotional, I can't even accept it. And then come to the point that, okay, I know what my problem is, I can accept it. And then moving on to the next problem is, how can I come up with a solution? And then after that, it gets into the stage of, now you can come up with solution, but will you come back for a follow through, an update? I've done on this so far. I've worked so hard on this so far. Is there anything else? And then get into a point that, can I teach the same progress to other people? So it's a long way to go. You can't just pick up all information in just one setting. And if you're looking at this, you're not going to really learn something like that in school. Who's going to go and tell you about, okay, your self-image problem and your self-awareness tracking, and you don't even know what's your goal, your dream is. They only can take you to classes, and you take this course and you go into the same room and you recite the lesson, you say the same thing, and then you got an A. That's it. Right? Yeah. But have you ever asked yourself, things you learn in school, would that have anything to do with generating money? Because the whole point of going to school is for what? It's to eventually convert that information into application, and then we can make money out of it, isn't it? Or maybe making our family happy, right? So what do you know in school that can actually help you to make income and making a lot of income and can make a happy family? You have to track yourself on that. If you don't, you are gonna just get your head into the game and study and 4.0. And I was a valedictorian, I was a 4.0, and I'm doing it because I don't want to get in trouble with my parents. But indeed, it doesn't help me anything with anything I'm having today. The only thing that it did help me is, okay, it increased my memorization. It helped me with critical thinking, solve the problem, yes. But the content, the hard skill, not the soft skill, the hard skill, it's not helping anything at all. Yeah. So, I mean, don't just do things without knowing what does that lead to. Yeah. Now, another thing, and then we're done. Do you see this whole problem where it come from? It come from you guys lacking of an end goal. And I think for you to develop that end goal, you got to go collect a lot of reference points. Okay, how do I describe end goal? I'm not talking about a job. I'm not talking about being an engineer. I'm not talking about making that much money. I'm talking about finance, marriage, peace of mind, self-growth, spirituality, impacting the world, building a legacy, right? How are you parenting your kids? Things like that nature. People around you cannot model for you that because they didn't even really set a goal on that when they was in their 20s. So everything they do right now, it's just they're following their society. If they don't do something like that, they cannot have that sense of belonging. And so they just keep rushing into life and doing it. So what is yours? How does Eric want to treat his kids? What is the man he is to his family? You know, he's a breadwinner. He can bring food to the table. I have my own standard. If I'm married to a woman, she ain't need to go to work. She's not going out there looking at any other husband of the other family because she got the best in the world. Or I want my mom to travel to 2-3 different cities and stay every year. And I don't want her to sacrifice her health for work. You know, like Nick and Stephanie talk about the 2 men takes care of the last generation, the last 2 generations, and the next 2 generations. Or things like, what kind of impact I can make on my community because of my life? How many people become better off? Or things like, what will my kids growing up looking up to? Will he wear my jersey or he's looking up for the other guys? When people ask, okay, what do you know about your dad? What will he write? Or, you know, like, or something like, if the next morning I wake up, I have that peace of mind. I don't have to worry about if economy shut down because I create my own economy. I don't worry about what's going on in the White House because I have everything. I can control everything from my own house. You know, so things like that. It's your full control over it. And if you guys don't really know how to customize your life and live your life on your own terms because you can't even define what is your terms, well, then you are just going to fall into everything people are telling you, right? So if I want to go from here to here, because I know exactly what I want, it's very easy for me to prioritize whatever is on this way. But if I take this thing out, someone's calling for my attention here, I'm going to get over here. Someone calling for attention here, hey, there's a boba, there's a milk tea, there's a travel, there's a trip, there's a this girl today. And you are all over the place because you don't have a goal. Make sense? So you guys got to start to define your own goal. And you should not look at everybody in society. Oh, this guy, he has a job, smart, good-looking, 6-figure income. How do you know he paid off his house? How do you know he has a sleep issue because he has to wake up too early? How do you know he going home and he doesn't have any good life behind that closed door? Don't look at on that surface. What's behind that? Right? When his kids go to school, how do you know the dude doesn't apply for financial aid? Yeah. So go define that end goal. When we met Peter, I knew he was a ambitious individual. But when I asked him, so how would your life look like? He can't even give me that terms because obviously that's what we went to school for. They don't teach us about end goal. They teach us about how to get a job so that we can be of value to the company, to build this country. This country is built around free enterprise, built around enterprises and entrepreneurship. And so the job of those government politicians is to produce as many workforce as possible. They want to create high quality workforce. People graduate from top university was prepared to write the resume, to be very competitive, apply for a job and go into work and be a very good worker. And there's employee of the month and there's promotion and there's all kind of like good treat. And that's what this whole country mission statement is to produce all the smart people. No matter how smart, how dumb you guys are, you guys getting into the same entrance. It's called university. And so your exit will all have to look the same. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. So ask these guys, and when they give you those material, people talk about dreams and goals, don't just listen to it. You know, reflect, put yourself in that shoes. You know, what if my mom can get her to be told the things that Aaron told his mom yesterday? What if I could be that hero to make an impact on the crowd yesterday? What if it can make, these individuals proud of me? Imagine that. Or, when we're taking, Aaron's going to take his mom to a Jiva trip, ask yourself, what if that would be your mom? Don't just look into her material and don't make any comparison because it's a waste of time to listen to material. I got two kinds of friends. My first friend told me, oh, Phil, your mom is free. Good for her. But you know what? My mom is my mom. My mom doesn't necessarily you become like your mom. So it's okay for her to go to work. And I got a second guy that, oh, I don't want my mom to be like going to work. I admire you, Phil, and I want the same thing for my mom. See, it's the same situation. One wants to run away. One wants to face a challenge. So if you listen to material, same thing. If some people are showing off their life, would you looking at them and say, hey, I want that same thing? Or would you want to say, oh, everybody has a different life. No one should be the same. Don't try to compare. And you ended up being broke. Like I used to go on stage and I say, I am my own boss. One guy's looking at it and say, man, I have a boss. That sucks, man. I want to be my own boss. The other guy say, well, I don't like to be a boss because you boss people around. You make money off them. That looks there, pathetic. You don't want. So they ended up being someone else's employee because they don't want to boss around people. So it's the same thing. It could be someone inspiration. It could be someone else's excuse. Right? So I hope the CD could work for you only if you allow it to work for you. You face it. Or else you're looking at it like, oh my gosh, I don't want this.
Yeah, wow. Thank you, Phil, so much for actually spend a lot of time with us today. And I know I only asked you for 30 minutes, but actually he spent almost 1 hour with us already. So and he shared a lot of topic too. But Alex and Eric, you guys can share something you guys feel like the most relatable and also impressed with you guys.
Share some thoughts.
Yeah, share some thoughts.
Phil, I just want to thank you for, giving us this time to talk to us. I'm sure you have a very busy schedule, so I'm really glad that you could talk to me and kind of help me understand what my problems are. I just want to say, like the one key takeaway from all of this is the point that you kind of explained about having to zoom out and kind of thinking beyond what's in front of me, because everything that's in front of me right now is just distraction. And I don't want to be the type of person where I'm in my late 60s and then I finally realize that it didn't matter at the end of the day. All those little distractions that I deal with right now, they're gonna lead me nowhere in life. So I really have to zoom out and determine what my end goal is so I can focus specifically on that and kind of pave my own path and find a trajectory that will get me there. So I think that, thank you for teaching me that.
The rest of question
That's good.
come into FPD and ask him, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, what about Eric?
I want to say thank you, Phil, for today. I know that the time was originally supposed to be 7, but then you guys had something to change it to 6. So there's something must have been going on. You must have been busy, so you still took your time to come out and talk to us. The key takeaway is how the one question I asked you, you answered all the questions I basically had on my list. Like, why do I push against an obstacle that's blocking me when I could just walk around it? That's a distraction. Why do I care so much about these friends when maybe 10 years from now I'm not going to be friends with them anymore? Um, the ability to track. If I just think back 10 years and like with my brother, I can't blame him because of his condition, and I can't just fight him all the time. If I actually just thought about it, maybe I'd be further along right now. I just never thought back then. Or how that if I decide to actually like put myself out there and make mistakes more often, maybe someone around would be there to actually teach me this. I'm like, hey, you're making a mistake. That's good. Now here's what you can do to be better. I never really pushed myself out there to be like that. So always getting caught up in what's in front of me. I need to define that goal. So thank you so much for helping me. Like now I'm gonna take the time to see what I can do from here.
All right.
Man,
That's awesome. Yeah, whenever you run into any situation, remember, just take a step back. Don't fall into the trap right away. Remember, speed will win distance. Distance comes before speed. Just because someone goes fast or react quick doesn't mean you're gonna have the best efficient performance or reaction from there, right? Or for example, if there's someone going to you and put you down, it doesn't mean that's his intention. It could be he went back home from a long day at work, or it could be because he didn't get enough information, or that could just simply be a way to poke you, to encourage you, right? Same content but different context, right? Same content, different context, because everybody. And if there's someone compliment you, that could be a sarcasm, that could be encouragement. That doesn't mean it's the truth. Take a step back, look at the things behind the scenes. Don't fall into it right away. Develop that calm. Yeah. So yeah, I recommend you guys to slowly take away some responsibility from your parents and take over it. It's number one. Number two, it's listen to a few CDs that they sending out to you, and last but not least is looking to develop a team, because only when you guys are having a team you can actually put stuff that you learn into use. And most of the time people cannot look into the mirror, but they can look at the guy that looks similar to them. They look at themselves and, oh my god, I don't want to think that's me. But if Eric has a similar candidate, he'll be like, man, this girl is so slow. Wait a minute, he looks like me. So it's easy to look into the mirror that way. So when you have candidates, you grow. You grow, and now you have responsibility. It's like your own kids. Man, my kids have to be proud of daddy. Like suddenly you have, you can't. I want to curse, but I can't. I want to go to a party, I can't. I want to waste my money, I can't. Everything for that little child. I look at Peter right now. He's very mature. You know why, right? Yeah, the moment when you get birth, yeah, you're like that. Out of fever, out of power, Yeah. All right, guys. So you guys both go to FTD?
Yeah.
yeah.
Dang.
They
I wanna
both
go.
Who bought the
FPD
ticket?
Eric
Already.
bought
I still need to
$300
buy it.
ticket. And
Man,
then I asked
Not the deadline, the early bird, which is the cheaper price, would be ended in October 12th. So if you buy it after October,
Eric, when did you buy the ticket?
I bought the ticket 2 weeks after summer conference.
There is a way that you can get that money back. If you call your bank and you tell them that someone used it to buy the ticket, unauthorized, then they will report it as scam or fraudulent activity. So they will send you a new card. And so the airplane automatically is going to cancel that ticket, and the bank will take the money back for you, and then you can buy a new one. But if you don't trust that approach, you can just wait till the money come back. If the money cannot come back, forget about it. But if money can come back, you can buy a new ticket. Do you know why I prefer you to buy that new ticket? Because you can travel with the team. So travel from where you are to go to the airport and everything. It's a lot easier. Where does he live? North Cal?
San Jose.
San Jose. So I mean,
I think most of them will be at
never mind. I mean, there's a problem with that $159 ticket too. There's a 8 hours 7 hours layover. You know? So
Layover.
it's fine. Yeah. So if he good with that $300, that's fine. Because you know there's a con of that new ticket is people leave Monday night, not Monday morning. Because Monday night, which means when they get home, it's midnight Tuesday. So they pretty much give up school on Monday and also on Thursday because you fly Thursday morning and you're going back Tuesday morning or midnight.
Too much.
And so then, that's too much. So it's okay if he can keep that $300. I thought he's in SoCal. If he's in SoCal, you can get a $200-something ticket. Perfect times, schedule, every single thing is perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. So good luck. And
Thank you, Phil.
I'll see you around. Yeah.
Thank
for
you.
tonight.
Thank you, Anh.
All right, guys. Bye-bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you, Philly, so much. Wow.
Oh man,
Amazing.
man,
One question.
amazing. Any reflection, guys? Reflection.
So much reflection.
A lot to
You
work.
guys note things down?
Yeah.
You're gonna
lot
note
of
down,
notes,
man.
lot of notes.
Man, that's good. Man, that's good. That's good. All right. So definitely I think it's best if we want to reflect it good. We can divide the Zoom into two groups so that we can internalize it into different cases. So it's easier to understand.
Break room.
Like
Break room.
not need to break room. You guys call your group. You guys got the group, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Call your own
Listen.
group. Yeah, so that we can internalize it into your case. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
That we don't get
Good.
too generalized. Phil already shared for us. All right.
Got it.
See you guys. Bye bye.
See you.
Adios.
Let's call Eric. Call your group, okay?
Yeah.
Alex, call